Welcome back to T-News 9, where we bring you the most thrilling stories. Today, we're diving into Chapter 26 of the 190 IQ Killer, titled The Mirror Room. Ethan and Ramos arrive at the address. Kay sent them an abandoned warehouse in a chemically contaminated industrial district. They find Warehouse 17C, its door slightly ajar, a clear invitation. Ramos, ever cautious, insists they call for backup, but Ethan knows better. If they call for help, Kay will vanish, and Liana's life will be forfeit. He pushes forward. The door groans open into pitch darkness. Suddenly, a single spotlight illuminates the center of the room. It's the same scene from the video Kay sent. Tall mirrors surround them, each covered in a white sheet like a shrouded corpse. In the middle sits the chair, but it's empty. Liana is gone. As Ramos curses, realizing Kay has moved her, Ethan notices something odd. Each sheet covering the mirrors has a number spray painted on it, from 1 to 12. 12 mirrors. Ethan directs his flashlight towards mirror number 7, where he spots a faint silhouette behind the cloth. Thinking it's Liana, he prepares himself. Ramos raises his weapon, but Ethan needs to see. He rips the sheet away and freezes. It's not Liana, it's his own reflection. But something is wrong. The reflection is out of sync, delayed by a fraction of a second. It's not a mirror, it's a screen playing a pre-recorded video of him. Suddenly, Kay's voice booms from hidden speakers, cold and mocking. You've spent your life studying others. Mad dog, now try studying yourself. In an instant, all the sheets drop from the mirrors. Ethan is surrounded by 12 versions of himself. Some are younger, some older, some are injured, others are filled with rage. It's all secret footage, collected over months, capturing different moments of his life. Kay has been watching him for a very long time. Kay's voice returns. Before you can find Liana, you must find the version of yourself I left behind. A final screen flickers to life, showing Liana, bound but alive. She cries out, "Ethan, don't come alone," before the image dissolves into static. The room falls silent. Ethan clenches his fists, the reality of the situation sinking in. Ramos realizes this isn't just a trap, it's a twisted message. Ethan stares into the delayed reflection, his own image lagging just behind his movements. He finally understands. Kay has changed the rules. This is no longer about the victims, it's about him. What a chilling chapter. Kay is playing a deeply personal game with Ethan. Chapter 27. The accident that didn't happen. Outside the abandoned warehouse, Detective Ethan paced nervously next to his patrol car. His partner Ramos had just radioed for surveillance on all the exits, but they both knew it was too late. Kay, the elusive killer, was already long gone. Ethan stared at the 12 mirror screens on the camera Kay had left behind, each one reflecting a different version of himself. Ramos, now sitting beside him, broke the silence. "Why show you versions of yourself?" Ethan's voice was low, almost a whisper. "Kay kills people to expose their lies. So what lie is he calling out in me?" Ramos frowned, confused. "Ethan, you don't lie." Ethan couldn't bring himself to answer. He knew he did lie. He lied to himself, every single day, burying a truth he couldn't face. Before he could explain, the police radio crackled to life. "All units, we have a possible suicide attempt downtown. A woman is on a rooftop, threatening to jump." Ethan froze. A rooftop, a woman. This had Kay's signature all over it. Ramos saw the look of alarm on Ethan's face. "You think it's Liana?" "No," Ethan said, his voice grim. "It's something else." He sped through the city streets, the car moving like a bullet. They arrived at the Herald Tower and raced up to the 33rd floor. Officers had already surrounded a woman standing precariously on the very edge of the roof, her body trembling violently. Ethan approached her slowly, cautiously. "Ma'am, please step down." She turned, her eyes wide with terror. In her open palm was a single white Lego brick, Kay's calling card. She let it fall from her hand. "He told Emmy it was an accident." She screamed, her voice breaking. A chill ran down Ethan's spine. "What accident?" "The one I caused, 6 months ago. The scaffolding collapse. People died." Ethan took another step closer as the woman collapsed into sobs. "He told me he had proof. He said I couldn't live with myself anymore." Ramos whispered, horrified. "Kay is engineering emotional accidents. He's making people kill themselves." Ethan corrected him. "No, he's forcing confessions through guilt." Just then, the woman swayed, losing her balance. Ethan lunged forward, grabbing her wrist just as she began to fall. Other officers rushed in to help pull her back to safety. As they escorted the distraught woman away, she turned and whispered to Ethan, her voice filled with a chilling finality. He said, "You're next." Chapter 28. Back at the precinct, Detective Ethan had just walked in when his partner Ramos rushed over, a tablet in his hand. "Ethan, you need to see this." The screen lit up with security footage from the previous night. The timestamp read 1:14 a.m. A man in a janitor's uniform entered through a side stairwell, moving with a calm, almost graceful confidence that seemed out of place. Ethan leaned in, telling Ramos to freeze the frame on a close-up of the man's face. Even with the cap pulled low, there was no mistaking it. That jawline, the quiet intensity, the posture. It was Kay. He had walked right into the heart of the precinct. Ramos tapped the screen, his finger tracing the man's path. He went straight to the archives. A cold dread washed over Ethan. "Which room?" he asked, his voice tight. Ramos hesitated for a moment before answering. "Your case locker." Without another word, Ethan sprinted down the hall to the archives. He threw open his locker, his heart pounding. The files were all there, but they weren't how he left them. They weren't stolen. They were reorganized, meticulously rearranged. It was as if Kay was silently critiquing his entire investigation, correcting his work like a disappointed teacher. Tucked inside one of the folders, Ethan found a small, crisp note. The handwriting was precise, almost calligraphic. It read, "You're following the wrong thread. Lies do not interest me. Truth does." It was signed with a simple, elegant initial, K. But that wasn't all. Kay had added new items to the file. There were photos of an old, abandoned bridge, a place Ethan hadn't thought about in years. Alongside them was a report detailing a pedestrian fatality from a decade ago. And on the corner of the report, scribbled in perfect red ink, were two words, "Start here." Ramos, who had followed him, leaned over his shoulder to see. Why this old case? He wondered aloud. Ethan stared at the file, a flood of memories rushing back. He whispered, almost to himself, "Because this was my first case." Ramos's eyes widened in surprise. "You mean, when you were still a rookie?" Ethan could only nod, his mind racing. Kay wasn't just giving him a clue, he was sending a message. He wanted Ethan to go back to the very beginning, to remember something he had long since forgotten, something crucial. What memory does Kay want to unlock? What happened on that bridge 10 years ago? Chapter 29, The Bridge of Two Deaths. As darkness swallowed the city, Ethan and Ramos found themselves on the decaying Halpin Bridge. The wind howled through its rusted beams, carrying whispers of the past. The cold case file was simple. A teenage boy, a tragic fall, an accidental death. But for 10 long years, that official story had gnawed at Ethan. Ramos leaned against the railing, unimpressed. "This place is a dump. Why are we here, Ethan?" Instead of answering, Ethan pointed to a subtle detail on the railing, a faint indentation, almost invisible to the naked eye. He ran his gloved hand over the cool metal. 10 years ago, I found this same dent. The official report dismissed it as old, unrelated damage. But, ... double quotes Ramos, ever the skeptic, raised an eyebrow. "But what?" Ethan's voice dropped to a near whisper, almost lost in the wind. "Back then, I didn't believe it was an accident." The air grew heavy. Ramos turned, his gaze fixed on Ethan. "You're saying the kid was pushed?" Ethan gave a slow, deliberate nod. "I was convinced of it, but I was just a rookie. No one listened to me. I couldn't prove a thing." Ramos frowned, the pieces starting to click into place. "So what does this ancient history have to do with our killer, Kay?" Before Ethan could even form a response, a sharp vibration broke the silence. A phone, a single chilling message from an unknown number, glowed on the screen. "You once let a lie win. Tonight, you face the truth." Suddenly, a loud metallic clank echoed from the shadows behind them. Both detectives spun around. A figure emerged from behind a massive support pillar. It wasn't Kay, it was a man, probably in his late 30s, his body racked with violent tremors. He clutched a heavy crowbar, tears streaming down his face. "No one believed me," the man choked out, his voice a painful whisper. "No one believed I saw my own brother fall. No one believed what the Glassmans did. But he believed me." Ethan's blood ran cold. Kay told you to come here." The man nodded, his eyes wild with grief and rage. "He told me you were the one, the detective who buried the truth 10 years ago." Ramos's voice was a low warning. "Ethan, this is a setup," but it was too late. With a primal scream, the man lunged, charging straight at Ethan with the crowbar raised high. What happens next? Will Ethan survive this trap? To chapter 30 of the 190 IQ Killer, titled The Edge of the Truth. The scene opens with pure chaos. A man, driven by blind fury, swings a crowbar at Ethan. Ethan dodges, slamming the man against a railing, desperate to make him listen. "Stop, listen to me," he shouts. But the man is lost in his grief and rage. "No, you ignored my brother. You ignored us all," he cries out. He accuses Ethan of being just like the others, claiming that someone named Kay showed him the real story. He swings the crowbar again. Ethan blocks the blow, but the impact sends him dangerously close to the edge of the railing. Just in the nick of time, Detective Ramos arrives, aiming his gun. "Drop it," he commands. The man freezes, his anger collapsing into heartbreaking sobs. "You didn't see the truth, and now look at us," he says. Then he utters a chilling phrase. He said truth only comes when someone falls. Ethan's blood runs cold. He recognizes those words. They were written on a postcard Kay left on a bridge weeks ago. A horrifying realization dawns on him, and Ramos whispers what he's thinking. "Ethan, he's reenacting the death." Before Ethan can process this, the man lunges forward. In a desperate move, Ethan grabs him, but their momentum carries them both over the railing. For a terrifying moment, they teeter on the brink. Ethan's fingers barely catch the metal bar, leaving him dangling with the other man's weight pulling him down. He strains, every muscle screaming. "Give me your hand," he pleads. But the man just stares back with hollow, empty eyes. He said someone has to fall. To balance the lie, he whispers, "Don't do it." Ethan screams, but it's too late. The man offers a sad, resigned smile and lets go. He falls into the abyss below. Ethan hangs there, chest heaving, until Ramos pulls him back to safety. They both stare down at the tragic scene below. The silence is heavy, broken only by Ethan's whispered words. "This wasn't murder." Ramos is horrified. "What do you mean?" he asks. Ethan replies, "It was a confession." He looks down at his phone, where Kay's last message haunts him. "Tonight, you face the truth." Ramos presses, "What truth?" Ethan's gaze pierces the darkness, his voice cracking with emotion. "The boy didn't fall by accident. Kay just proved what I failed to prove 10 years ago." He clenches his fists, a storm brewing in his eyes as he looks towards the rooftops. "Kay isn't rewriting the case," he says, his voice low and intense. "He's rewriting me." What a cliffhanger. What truth from 10 years ago is Ethan talking about? It seems Kay's game is far more personal than we ever imagined. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. Thanks for watching T News 9.